Welcome back. And we had a little vacation and we were thinking of great topics to bring to you. And I'm really excited because we're going to have an excellent fall season here at Birth and Baby Talk. And to start off that new season, we're going to do a little masterclass on infant massage to help with pooping and passing gas. Now, why might you need to do this? Well, babies are kind of famous for being a bit gassy. And initially, babies need to learn how to help themselves have a poop. Now, it's true that the bowels have a process called peristalsis, which is a rhythmic contracting of the bowels, which moves poop through baby's body and pushes it out when it's ready to go to the bathroom. But you and I have that too. And I'm sure you know when you sit down to go to the bathroom, sometimes either it feels good or you feel like you need to put a little extra pressure on what's going on down there to help yourself. And certainly when you get that sensation where you need to pass gas, most of us help ourselves along and give it a little push to get it out. Babies are the same, but they don't know that they have to help themselves. So at first they can feel very frustrated and get upset. And for a new parent, that might seem really difficult, and they may mistake what's going on. They may misunderstand what's happening. And babies, I have baby Bob here who's going to help us learn a bit today. But so babies just know that they feel uncomfortable in their bodies, but their bodies work just the same as ours do. When the stuff moves through, it needs to come back out again. If there is gas sitting around inside them, they can feel bloated and uncomfortable. They can also feel sharp pains. And a lot of people mistakenly believe that gas is caused by air drawn in when babies feed that doesn't get then burped out. And while that may account for a very small amount of gas that can be passed from the stomach into the bowels during the very normal digestion process, what's really going on, what's producing most of the gas inside baby, is actually the very normal bacterial processes in the gut of all humans, where the bacteria in the gut breaks down the food and then makes the vitamins and minerals, calories bioavailable to us. And, just like when we work really hard, we sweat, well, bacteria fart out gases. And those gases accumulate and have to be removed from the body somehow. Now, for us, if you have a nice big bowl of lentil soup, you might find yourself making more gas than usual. But the buildup of gas inside the gut is a super normal process, and everybody farts. And babies are no different. And the funny thing about babies is we think babies are small and delicate. We have to hold them special because they cannot yet sit up. They cannot yet coordinate their muscles. They have not yet achieved the muscle tone in which they need to do a lot of things. However, that doesn't mean they're not powerful little beings. They're pretty strong. And the force of those poops and gas exiting their body can often be huge, loud, and pretty alarming. But let's say your baby is upset. You've made sure that you fed baby. You've made sure that they are comfortable where they are sitting. They're not too hot. They're not too cold. You have given them a cuddle and they're still really uncomfortable. Maybe they're even arching their back and looking like they are in pain. You can try a simple set of massage techniques on baby to help relieve them of any potential discomfort from gas that they may have. You might also find that where your brand new baby, maybe your brand new baby was pooping regularly, but suddenly after a few weeks, it seems like their poops are slowing down a bit. And what we find is sometimes an exclusively breastfed baby, somewhere around the 1 month or 6 week mark, some of those babies, they start to mature in their bodies and their digestion motility can slow down. And motility just means like the speed at which food goes from here all the way through you and back out the other end. So just like you probably know, some people poop very often and frequently and shortly after they eat. And you know other people who may only poop once a day. They have a slower bowel motility. Babies can be similar. And that can be really alarming for some parents who get worried about constipation, or, and though this is a normal process, you know, if your baby hasn't pooped in a couple of days, which again is within the realm of normal for a slightly older baby or a baby on the edge of leaving the newborn age, while that is normal, it can also, you know, like it can be uncomfortable for baby, right? Just like for you, if you haven't gone to the bathroom in a while and you feel things are sort of building up, but maybe your body's not quite ready to go, you can start to feel a little bloated and uncomfortable until you actually do go to the bathroom. So we can help babies to evacuate their bowels to get gas moving out of them by using some nice techniques. Now, what we recommend is for you to get started when baby is in a very comfortable time. Camera down this way so we can see baby Bob. So what I want to do when I'm working with a baby, here we go. This is a little better. When I'm working with a baby, what I want to do is make sure that that baby is in a happy and comfortable mood. I'm trying to find a good spot for Bob to be. I don't want that baby to be upset. I want Bob to be comfortable and calm. And so sometimes for some babies, that might be first thing in the morning. It can also be shortly before a bath. So if baby has had a good feed and it is going on bath time, you can decide to do a massage. I recommend doing it before the bath, because if baby has a blowout, you want to be able to wash them afterwards. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to ask baby permission. So I'm going to say to Bob, "Hi, Bob. I'd like to give you a little massage because your tummy has been bothering you lately. May I do that?" And then hopefully Bob will be happy to let me do that. And how I know that is that Bob is not upset. He's not crying. He's not fussing with me. He's not whining. He's going to be maybe in a calm, happy mood. He might even be sitting and kicking his legs and moving his hands around, looking forward to having some fun with mom or caregiver. I'm going to then make eye contact with Bob. I'm going to look at him, make sure he can see me so that none of this is a surprise to him. And I'm going to talk to him throughout the whole process and explain what I'm doing, as well as, you know, maybe sing to him while I'm doing this. So, the next step is I'm going to make sure my hands are warm. If they're a little cold, I can put them under my arms, or I can rub them together quickly to build up a little warmth. And then I'm going to put a little oil in my hands. Now, Bob is actually not a real baby and made out of fabric. So I'm not going to use oil on him. But with a baby who is a real live baby, I'm going to use a little oil. I'm going to use a neutral kind of oil. I mean, you could even use olive oil or a little grapeseed oil if you have that in your cupboard. If you have coconut oil, that's a very commonly used oil. And we just want to use some oil on our hands to make sure our hands slip on baby's skin nice and easy. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hands on baby, and I'm going to start out with a slow circular massage. And I'm not going to necessarily push too firmly into the baby's belly. I'm just going to warm baby's sort of skin up and say, hey, let's massage, and we're going to help you with that gas, Bob. So I'm going to do some circles, and then I'm going to move into half moons. And I'm going to just bring my hands in one after another. And what I'm doing is actually going down Bob's left side, because if we turn Bob around here and have a look, down Bob's left side is where his large intestine goes and empties out into the rectum. So what we want to do is encourage Bob's digestion to move towards that large bowel, and then encourage emptying of that large bowel into the rectum and out of baby's body. So I'm going to do some half moons, and then I'm going to do what's called paddling. Now with paddling, we take the blade of our hand, right? So along here, where the pinkies are, and we're going to put it just under baby's belly button. We're going to steer clear of that umbilical cord if we can, especially if baby has not lost their cord yet. We want to be delicate in that area. So I'm going to use the blade of my hand to sort of scoop down firmly into baby's belly. Now, I want you to notice when I scoop down, I am pressing into baby's belly. This is where, like, just underneath where the ribs are is baby's bowels. So I am going to press in there, and I'm going to do it a little bit firmly. So I sort of dig the blade of my hand in. So I can alternate hands if I want, or I can use the other hand on Bob's body. And then again, I'm going to talk to him and say, ooh, I'm going to put some pressure on your belly, Bob. We're going to help you have a really good poop. And then after I've paddled his belly a little, we're going to do something called the I love you massage. Now, the I love you massage describes the movements we're going to use. We're going to first go I, down that long, that side on the left, right, where the large bowel is, the large intestine, that is. So we're going to just take 2 fingers, and we're going to, again, press firmly. We're not digging in to hurt him, but we're going to press firmly so that we're actually pressing into the bowel just a little bit. So we're going to go I, and then we're going to trace across the top from the right to the left, and then down, I love, and then we're going to go you. So we're going to go all the way around in a clockwise manner, all the way from the top of one hip up to the belly, and then down again to the other hip. So I love you. Yes, I do, Bob. I love you. And then the next one we're going to do is bicycle legs. Now, this is pretty simple. We're just going to tuck Bob's legs up like this, alternating, pressing his knees up into his belly. We're going to do this a few times. Ooh, look at you. Bike, bike, bike. Yeah, it's like running, but lying on your back. And then we're going to do a double leg press. So the same kind of movement, but we're going to press those knees up into the belly firmly. So we're going to make those knees gonna touch where the belly is. Again, this is all putting pressure on the bowels. So we're gonna do that. And that pressure helps to stimulate those bowels and get them moving. And then I'm going to finish with some long strokes. Good job, Bob. Good job. You're such a very helpful baby. And I know you are going to have a huge poop very soon. So when we do this, what we might see is that by the time we get to doing bicycle legs and that double leg press up into Bob's belly, Bob might actually start farting. And if your baby needs to poop right away, they might start pooping. So you can also do this. You can also do this when you're doing a diaper change. If you want to make sure, like if baby has just had a bowel movement and you want to make sure everything's out, you can also do bicycle legs and do those double leg presses a couple of times. And for a very small baby, you know, like a baby who's still maybe a month or less old, they will often have more stuff in their bowels that just needs to move out. And if you've ever had a small baby, you know that sometimes in those first few weeks, when you change a diaper, those babies will start pooping again like 5 minutes later to finish the job. So this can help you make sure that everything's cleaned out and baby doesn't need to have yet another diaper change a few minutes after their first one. Now, a word of caution, if you're doing this, you can choose to leave baby's diaper on, or you can choose to take baby's diaper completely off. If you are taking baby's diaper completely off, have a towel underneath them because they will make a mess. So you might want to, like if you're doing this on your bed or on the floor or on your sofa, you may wish to put down a change pad first and then a towel. And if you have a baby boy, that baby boy may fountain. So when baby boys pee, when their diapers are open and they're exposed to cold air, they often pee straight upwards, which can either get on you or get all over themselves. So just be aware that that could happen. So also a good thing to have on hand is a little bit of warm water and a washcloth that you can then clean baby up with, or your diapering supplies so that you can use a wet wipe and clean baby up and put a fresh diaper on them. But you can also do this with the diaper on if you don't want to risk a huge mess. Also, just be aware that if baby does suddenly poop, that poop can come out quite forcefully, and if there's no diaper on their bottom, it can shoot, like a good feet or two. So just be aware that sometimes crazy stuff happens and to be prepared to clean up any messes. So if you've got a white carpet or a white sofa, maybe don't do this with a diaper off on those surfaces. And then you might find that baby poops or pee or farts, passes gas right away when you do this. Often we see that when we're doing that, like the leg presses, babies often start tooting. And babies who maybe have had a very slow bowel movement, they may poop within about an hour. We find that bowel stimulation is usually really useful, very effective in getting a baby whose bowels are moving slowly to get sped up a bit. And this can also help baby feel more comfortable. So you might find that after doing this and then having a bowel movement or releasing gas, your baby may also feel more comfortable for a nap at that point. Alrighty. So thanks. I hope you found this helpful. I'm very sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning. And we'll get that sorted so that we can show you a proper overhead view next time. But make sure you come back, not next week, but the week after. Birth and Baby Talk is moving to a bi-weekly format. So every second week we will be here. You will see your hosts, Megan, and Alex, and myself returning every 2 weeks with a great topic. And if you are expecting soon, you may really like the next one. Join us on the 29th of September when Vaidya Shweta is joining us to talk about Ayurvedic postpartum healing. Ayurveda is an ancient healing approach. I was looking for the right word. So Ayurveda is an ancient approach to healing, and we're going to be looking at how to apply that to the postpartum period. So I hope you will join us again. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.